But Rahul, I have seen your visuals. You were showing, this showed this new Aerocity which is coming up, and that hotel, which is making the runway vulnerable. But let me tell you that on the western end of the airport, this situation is far more serious, and I would request your channel to send your camera team to Sector 8 of Dwarika, and there is a huge unauthorized colony which is directly looking into the airport, where there is absolutely no access control. At least whatever structure the hotel comes up in that area, on the eastern end I am talking, there'll be some access control. That's what I suppose. So all, this entire security business of airport has been politicized. Bombay is an example. Bombay is sitting on a disaster. I mean, a disaster which can happen any day. And I think he will agree with me.
Okay, let me get Mr. Madhur to comment on from the perspective of somebody who's run airports. Now this construction is taking place. Do you believe these breaches in the wall, the fact that a reporter can get all the way to the tarmac to where the raw planes are, do you believe that this is of grave concern?
Well, it certainly is. But let us go a little deeper into the this whole issue. The real issue is systemic. The problem that we have is that, as he said just now, that you have these different agencies all working independently of each other and not feeling committed to the requirements or the priorities of the other. So we have this peculiar situation where when you have a meeting between the airport operator and the police just look at the security angle, the airport looks at the convenience of the passengers, and the meeting ground leaves a lot to be desired, and therefore everyone says we agree to disagree, and that's the end of the story. The other problem is that the budgetary situation is completely different. The police and what they put into the system, they have a separate budget. The airport operators and the airport, they have a separate budget. And the correlation between the two, where you need to do the two together, doesn't happen. I mean, if you're buying an expensive car that needs a garage, you need the garage and the car to come up together. You can't have a situation where you build the garage and there's no car, or even worse, you have the car and there's no garage. So, for example, here, what we should have done a long time ago is to bring in technology and get an electrified fence with a central control room that covers the entire perimeter. And we need to take the human element out of it. We are over dependent on the human element, and that is the weakest link in the chain in any case. I mean, picture to yourself that you have even a policeman posted every 200 meters. That poor guy could be posted there for 8 hours a day for 5 years with no reason for him to, see any breach or any problem. Put yourself in his place. Can you stay alert 8 hours a day, day after day, with nothing at all? Therefore, we have to recognize we need to get the technology exists, and we have to reduce the human element. And therefore, we need to bring in another situation where we need to bring in biometrics, give everybody on that site a biometric card. Therefore, we need to get at the national level an agreement.
But why is this not being done? What you're saying is so obvious and so basic. Biometric cards need to be there with all the contractors, with all the workers, so that people know who can come in, who can't come in.
Well, I really can't. That's one of the mysteries of governance that we have, because I had raised this many, many years ago. And the first request I made was, can we get a common biometric? This happened because I went for my driver's license. I was happy to see that my left forefinger or something was used as a biometric on my driving license. So I promptly wrote back and said, can we as a country decide on a common biometric which cuts across whatever you have? The UID is now doing it. Can we use the UID biometric for a security guard for the airport? And then can we say that every airline passenger has the option to buy a security guard with a biometric? He then doesn't have to go through frisking, he just goes straight through with the biometric. And you then concentrate on the people who don't have any identity. They are the real security risk. You concentrate on them. The benefit of having a common biometric is the cost of the equipment will go down, because across the country, railway stations, post offices, government offices,
the same